That's you, Teresa, right? You're
This
saying you
meeting
didn't
is being
realize
recorded.
that there was a movie to watch. So I can summarize the movie, and I think you'll be able to follow along anyway, and maybe you watch the movie after. It could be kind of fun, actually.
Where was the link for the movie?
The link in the on the landing page, I'm not quite sure what you had seen, but there is different places where the information was. So there's a link, but you still have to like get it from a streaming service in order to be able to watch it. So we just have that information on the link. We can send you actually the on my website, there's a link on the landing page. Carrie, would you mind at some point sending that to Teresa, please?
Absolutely.
Carrie can send you that so you can get that afterwards. Okay. So, and I'll just read a little summary of it just so you can get the gist and everybody can be refreshed. This is not long, but basically the film was Penelope, and this is from 2006. Christina Ricci was the star of this one. I had a pretty good cast too. There was Reese Witherspoon was in it, and what's that woman's name who played the mother?
Yeah, in Home Alone. Yeah,
What's her name?
I can't think of it. She was
Oh,
in Home Alone.
yeah, Home Alone
Beverly.
and Schitt's
Beverly.
Creek.
Margaret O'Hara?
What's it?
Margaret O'Hara? Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara. Yep. So Penelope is a modern fairy tale about a young woman born with a family curse, a pig's nose, that her parents tried desperately to hide. She grows up believing she must change to be lovable, but discovers that the real cure lies in accepting herself as she is. Along the way, the film explores themes of self-image, family expectations, authenticity, and unconditional love, all of which we will chat about. Um, so I was telling you all what I want you guys to introduce about yourself, and we'll get into that. But let's hear Molly's introduction, and then we'll get into the other introduction.
Should I do? Oh no, you didn't say the introduction yet, so never mind.
Oh, did I not say it yet?
I don't think to Carrie.
Oh, Carrie, you know how I always pick an introduction that's related to what we're talking about. So Penelope believes she has to fix something to make herself lovable. So what's something, maybe some messaging that you got or something that you thought you had to change about yourself to make yourself more lovable?
So, hi, I'm Molly. I am the co-leader of Stories and Screens. I'm Tanya's daughter. Um, I live in Philly. I have a degree in sociology, so I love learning about people and why we do the things we do. So it was really cool seeing this movie from that perspective. And it's a movie I watched a lot in my childhood too, but I haven't seen it in, I don't know, 15 years. So I watched it with very fresh eyes. And I thought it was awesome. And can I answer the second part too?
Sure.
So a quote I really like, not from Penelope, but from Alice in Wonderland, is the Mad Hatter said to Alice, "You lost your muchness. You used to be much muchier." And my whole life, even now, have felt like I am too much, too intense. I need to fix that about myself. I need to dumb myself down, which is not true at all. But that's something that I feel like relates. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Molly. I can also answer the prompt that I'm asking you all to answer, which is, what have you learned that you needed to fix? And I think I grew up feeling maybe that I wasn't so lovable, and that in order to be lovable, I had to like look at all the societal rules and make sure that I followed whatever I expected. Actually, it's probably similar to yours, Molly, and that I needed to follow certain guidelines in order to be lovable. So I didn't trust that I could just be as myself. And so that was something I had to learn the hard way to really come back to myself. So, yeah. Who is ready to share? Is it okay if I just go around my screen? And I'm looking at you, Barbara.
No, It's very interesting. I am the oldest, I think you know, certainly Tanya and Molly.
Mhm.
I'm the oldest of 6 girls. So, and I was always, from the time I was 9, I was babysitting for them. So I sort of grew up bossy, which leads to a lot of other things that aren't quite desirable, like not knowing how to talk things over because you're used to being, from the time I was
Charge.
10, I used to be the boss. And that was a very hurtful thing to learn from my sisters, that it wasn't really lovable. And I didn't even know I did it. It was really so ingrained. I have definitely, I definitely now put forth an effort when we're having discussions, not to be the boss and not to quash other people's ideas. But one thing that was told to me is, if somebody presents an idea, like we were taught, we go every year on a sister's vacation with the 6 of us. If somebody presents an idea that you think is horrible, I mean, you just say, oh, that's a good point. I just have to think about it longer. And you don't react with, are you going to afraid of mine? You know, you just, so it's something I really have a hard time with. And I try not to be bossy.
Yeah, yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you,
so
Barbara. Yeah. Lori, you're next on my screen.
Of course, mine's going to be a little different. Something I struggled with even into adulthood. I've been Carrie, close your. I've been married before, and always I grew up on the west side of Michigan City, Indiana, which is not the best side of town to be from. And I everybody bought their clothes at the mall, and they lived in these big giant houses, and I always felt like I had to pretend that I had the best, accepted, and even even it was all through school. It was even in adulthood. I thought, well, I'm going to marry somebody with a lot of money, and that's going to make me okay. It didn't. So I to like me for me. It didn't matter. It didn't matter that I didn't live in the biggest house. I'm living in the house I grew up in Arkansas now, and I'm okay. I like me. So
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
mhm.
Yeah. Thank
lived on the west side, Michigan City, and then I learned it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That that's where I thought I was. I just thought
Yeah.
the best of everything. You had to be the best, have the best of everything, and you don't.
Right. Right. And what does that mean, even? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like connecting to yourself and loving yourself, in my mind, that's the best. Like, and that's maybe what the movie is kind of about, right? Like, if you can get to that place or be in that place, then the rest
Mhm.
can sort of unfold in a way that's going to be satisfying and in
Yeah,
alignment.
yeah.
So, yeah, thank you.
I always remember. I was when I was going through Carrie's my daughter, by the way. But when I was going through the divorce with their dad, I was in a little bit of therapy, and I was taught to say this: no matter what you say or do to me, I'm still a worthwhile person.
Mm-hmm.
Time something maybe negative happened, I would just in my mind, no
Yeah.
matter, hey, I'm still a worthwhile person, and that
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of creating this protection for yourself, and you're not going to let somebody dictate how you feel about yourself.
yeah. So
Nice. Thank you. Jimmy. And Jamie's my sister. Lloyd, were you guys together in one before? I can't remember.
I don't think so, because
Okay.
you joined when I couldn't make it, and I think I joined when you weren't available. So
yeah.
So
Mm.
anyway, one of the things in society and in my life I always feel deficient in is to do with being in the kitchen and cooking. I have always been, and even when I was growing up, I mean, I used to help make my parents meals, but I was always using like pre-prepared things or box things that were easy to prepare and nothing really, from scratch or Like I wouldn't ever say, oh yeah, or have anyone say about me that I'm a good cook. But part of um, my late husband, he passed away in 2016. He was a very, very good cook, and he would cook for us all the time, the family, and for me, and for us. And Now I actually have a boyfriend who was went to culinary school and was a chef, and
I don't know how you got two men that so well,
and
but yes.
he worked, he was a chef in restaurants and worked in that industry for many years. He's still in the restaurant business, but now selling produce to restaurants, so a little bit different. But he's way better at cooking for me and him than he is for himself. Like he'll go home and he'll be like, oh yeah, for dinner I had a banana and peanut butter. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how, but I get to benefit from all the leftovers too. So anyway, I think I do pretty well for myself given given my
Yeah.
situation, but I wish that I wish I would have the confidence of cooking and baking and all that in the kitchen.
Were you saying though, Jamie, that you felt less than for a period of time because of that, or?
Yeah, I feel like um, so many people I know are good cooks, and I guess I feel a little like um, you know, people I know do meal prep and all that stuff, and I feel like it's just not my forte. So I have to
Yeah.
sort of explain myself or justify, like, well, I never really became very, very good cook.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting because it kind of speaks to feeling less than versus sort of accepting that it's not your forte. I mean, I kind of like that, being able to call it that and say, all right, so it's not my forte. It doesn't mean I'm lacking anything. It's just not my thing. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you. Carrie.
I guess that's me. So, I'm thinking of like a recent thing. I think everyone, maybe except for Jamie and Barbara, I was in a relationship and I was like in love with this guy. I mean, as in love as you could get. And he eventually ended up breaking up with me because of like certain lifestyle choices that he A knew of going into, and B like I guess didn't want to accept of me. Like I'm vegan, I don't want to have kids, and like certain things like religion that he wanted that I didn't want. Um so really when he broke up with me, it really like shattered kind of like that self-esteem, which I may be a little bit delulu. I know this, and I may have some narcissistic tendencies. I also know this, but I'm a really like kind of naturally confident person. But that like rocked me to my core. I was like, I'm usually very like, yeah, I don't want kids. Like, yeah, I don't really. Someone questions me, I'm not really affected by it. But that one really got to me. So it took me a lot of work to get back to like, oh no, these are just, someone doesn't want that. That's fine.
Like not making it mean there's something wrong with you.
Yes, exactly. Like I am still lovable, right? And I will find love when I want it. And they're gonna accept those things and probably celebrate them instead of constantly like, you could be less tired if you just had more protein. Like just little jabs all day long. Like, so that was a recent thing that made me feel unlovable.
And it always pisses me off when you tell someone exactly who you are, they know who you are, just like Penelope did. She showed them who she was to her mother's dismay. And they're like, I can't do this. Like, use your brain. Sorry.
I mean, even when I am like dating, kind of like experimentally, and I am a person who like requires a lot of alone time. Like my mom can tell you, like all the kids and cousins were off playing, and I was like literally alone with an Easter bucket on my head. Like, leave me alone. Like I had that's been like a major point of contention in all of my romantic relationships. At Molly, I tell them up front, and 3 months down the road, they're like, "Oh, why aren't you talking to me?" Like, so it is so frustrating. So yeah, I'm
feel
like
like-
Penelope when the door opens, like letting it all out there.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel too with Penelope, it really, I loved how she just would come out of the room.
Mhm.
Like, this is who I am.
She
Yeah.
was efficient. I liked her efficiency. Like, well, let's just get it all done all at once.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I also like how she ended up with like the one man that accepted her.
Yes.
And then when she finally accepted herself, went back
Mhm.
to like the societal standards, and everyone was like loving Penelope, dressing up for Halloween, everything. Like she was a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah, yeah. And didn't need to change her nose, but then it changed anyway.
Yeah.
So how did, thank you, Carrie.
You're very welcome.
How did Penelope's curse reflect sort of pressure that we all experience from family legacy and stuff? So it was for the movie's purpose, it's like a curse, but we all have, I mean, the foundation of the work that I do, and I know a lot of you guys know about this, is just the idea of limiting beliefs that we can carry, that we've learned from our families and the cultures that we each grew up in. So that's what's resonating for me, is the idea of some of this messaging that we carry of things like, you know, you need to be nice to be accepted, that kind of thing. That a lot of these self-abandonment sort of messages that lead to self-abandonment, I think, is sort of my version anyway, specifically, but culturally, a lot of us carry this of abandoning ourselves for other people's. Did we lose Lori?
You know, I know her internet's been very
Oh,
funky, so she'll
yeah.
probably be back.
Yeah, she'll be, I don't think Teresa will be
Carrie will be back.
Yeah.
Bless
But
her
yeah, I
heart.
also wanted to say that what came up for me a lot with the movie, which relates to your question, I hope, is that societally, it's just like the messaging was always drilled into her head that you're not worth anything if you're not beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And her mom, like, definitely reinforced that, and made her believe there was something wrong with her.
Mm-hmm.
There was something different about her.
Yeah.
But yeah, so also just like what are we if not beautiful? Like what are we if not our looks? Like that's kind of ingrained in us from a very young age.
Yeah. Yeah. So very specifically, if we're looking at some limiting beliefs, that's a huge one.
Yeah.
Like, to get worth, you have to look a certain way on the
And I
outside.
have that limiting belief if we're being honest, and I think a lot of us do. It's
Yeah.
hard not to.
But I wonder if boys do, men do. Like you look at a little girl, a baby, and say, she's so beautiful.
Mm.
You know, there's a wide standard of beauty when we look at babies, right? But yet men, I just wonder if that's at all a limiting factor in their life.
That they feel the same kind of pressure to be attractive.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I don't know.
Mhm. I think they have, my sense is that men have more available for value. So
Yes.
they might have some of that if they're not like feeling
Career.
attractive. It might be a bummer to them, but then they can focus on achievement, or they can focus on some other areas in our culture. I mean, if we're talking about sort of how our culture can look at things. Yeah.
And I know, Barbara, when I was the man I was talking about who like made me feel insecure, I know he was projecting because he felt like he needed to have a very, very attractive partner, like in his woman. So like he sometimes would like weirdly like kind of nag me in a weird way. And that like to where I felt like, oh, am I not meeting his weird low self-esteem about having an attractive partner? It wasn't about him being attractive. It was about him having an attractive partner.
You know,
which
I
was a
think
little
you're
bit
right.
silly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at these older guys like Bill Belichick. with the
Trophy wives.
Yes. So
Funny.
and that just kind of further puts the pressure back on us as who do identify as female, maybe like, oh shit, we still need to be pretty to be lovable. That's something I had to like knock down myself.
It's so ingrained in us. And like even just in this day and age, like what we see in media, like I'm 26, I'm too old for Leonardo DiCaprio now.
Who's what, 50 or something? Yeah.
Yeah, he's in his 50s, I think, but it's so interesting. And I'll notice too, like, just like how important looks are. Like if I look like put extra effort into my appearance one day, like suddenly people want to talk to me, but I'm not interesting otherwise.
Mm.
And I feel like Penelope
Yeah.
just like had half her face covered and then still made this great friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, which
Yeah.
is a good segue. Lori, I'm noticing you're sort of not nodding at things. I'm wondering what's coming up for you.
Well, for the record, I thought she was cute with her pig nose.
So
I
did I.
did too.
I thought she was adorable.
Yeah.
I honestly had to really, really like look like, oh my gosh, I'm like, she's so cute. And she was very strong-willed. I did like that, but it just goes to show. I kept thinking like, I thought she was beautiful. Her parents thought, well, her mom was a little pushy, but why can't we look past that? Because I just thought she was.
Right.
I thought she was very pretty without it.
Mm-hmm.
Very pretty with it. So
Mm-hmm.
I just can't. No one's perfect, and
Mm-hmm. Like, why can't we
yeah,
not get hung up on that stuff? Like, it's just, it gets in the way of connection and life and all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of things.
I
Yeah.
knew when I was in my 20s and 30s and even my 40s, I was okay. I was like, I did all right with but with my looks and things, but that fade. It's never gonna stay. You're never gonna stay the same
Mm-hmm.
as you are. So look inside. I don't know. That's just
Yeah.
I was just a little perturbed because I just thought she was so cute,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I couldn't understand. So he got the prize. He's the one that.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one
Yeah.
that deserved her too.
What's that?
I said he's the one that deserved her too.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. But it speaks to the issue with aging in our culture as well, right? Yeah. So it's like you lose value if you lose your looks, you lose value if you're getting older, and then that goes hand in hand with looks are changing but
Yeah.
how do we stay connected to our hearts and
Yeah.
as a culture can we nurture that?
Exactly. And it's like your skin changes, your hair changes, your body gravity. Things.
Everything changes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Um, so you were talking, Molly, about sort of the scarf, and even though she had the scarf, she was able to really make a good friend from that. Um, but just in terms of the hiding parts of yourself away, is there something, I know sort of in what I shared with you guys in the intro, for me, I think I would sometimes hide my opinion on things and where I might differ from other people because I would worry that if I shared some of those things, I would not be seen in the same positive light, which, it's so mind-boggling when you think of it all and what that might do and sort of interfere with how I was able to show up fully. And I think just the hiding thing interfered with me being able to meet somebody. I had met Steve soon after I actually started therapy and realizing, oh wait, there's a lot of messaging here that's not true to me, and started to strengthen the muscle of showing up as myself even if somebody doesn't like it. And what does that
Mm-hmm.
mean? And
Yeah.
what does that look like? And honestly don't feel like I was able to connect to a deep love relationship until I took that risk. So,
Mhm.
yeah. What are other people? Any thoughts on sort of this idea of hiding parts of yourself?
I also would like to know if anyone hides something about themselves that's one of their favorite parts of themselves, because sometimes we do
That's a
that.
good
Like
question.
my favorite
I was
part of
thinking that.
myself is my muchness, and that is something
Mm.
I dull down a lot of the time
Mhm. But I
because
think
I've like
you're
become too much.
but I think you're working on not
Oh
doing
yeah,
it. Yeah.
100%. Like I lost a lot of friends when I stopped dulling myself down as much, just half as much. And now I'm really finding the people that, accept me for who I am.
Right. So the quality of the friendships are completely different.
So different.
Yeah.
So different. They're so much deeper and better. And a lot of that is just like picking the right people and knowing myself and what I need and setting clear boundaries and expectations.
Yep. Yeah, I love that.
There's one thing my daughter tells me all the time that I'm trying best to get better at, but put your own oxygen mask on first. She always
Put your what? What's that?
oxygen mask on first because
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
want to fix everybody's everything, and I feel like it's my job to do. That's something that I'm learning to do, but that's how I feel like I'm accepted. If I don't do that,
Ah, okay.
then
I
I'm
was going to say, what's the connection? I'm sure there's a connection. So that's the connection. Like, yeah.
then I'm not being as good of a person as I should be.
Mhm.
I'm not being a good, and that's how I interpret that as I'm not being
You
good.
could have helped them, but you're choosing not to if you don't spend hours and hours and
Yes, and I'm
And
just
then you don't have worth.
and then I'm back down to this big again. When I got up, I was like a 7 foot tall giant, and then
yeah.
I allow, and I know that's true. I allow myself, and I just beat myself up, like, oh well, I'm not a good friend. I'm not a good mom. I'm not a good daughter. I'm not a good stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I struggle. I still struggle with that, but
Absolutely. I mean, that's sort of the core, the basis of my work is sort of rewriting some of those messages, whether we got them from somebody else or we interpreted them, sort of made them our own, whatever it is, but it's not true, right? And how do you deal with it's not true, but it still feels true. And I still feel pulled to it. Even like when Molly was like, look, to be honest, I still struggle with the whole beauty thing. And yeah, of course. I mean, it's hard to go against some of these messages, especially if you feel like you are not the majority in that situation. It can feel very isolating. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
that's so much because her friend was so accepting, and she was
Mhm.
a stranger, and I'm like, there you go, good for you. She was a good friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other thoughts about sort of this hidden parts of yourself?
Mm, I'll go. And my mom knows me very well, so if you guys kind of cringe at me mentioning this while my mom's here, it's totally fine. She knows all. She knows totally everything. But I'm like a really sexual person. Like I'm a very, that's just who I am. I feel like as I'm dating intently now, I have to hide that part of me. Otherwise, the men get like fixated on that side of me and kind of like ignore everything else. So, Molly, to answer your question, like that's the kind of part that I hide myself a little bit,
Hmm.
just so I don't like I don't know. So I
But
hide that
that
a little
sounds like
part
a
of me.
positive kind of like it's like not leading with that because when you lead with that, it comes,
Mhm.
there are problems that go along with that. So learning,
Mhm.
I mean, I just even like the way you said it, like owning this is part of me, but it's been a problem sometimes in the relationship dynamic as relationships unfold.
Yeah,
So,
it's like that balance. Do I
yeah.
hide it totally? Like, do I put the mask on or do I just go out with a pig nose? Like, it's kind of like that balance that I
Hmm. Yeah.
am working on myself. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what honors your truth most of all? Because I think part of
Yes.
what you're saying is when relationships go to that place without some substance, I mean, you didn't say all this, but this is sort of what I was reading between the lines. When relationships go there without the substance, then it's unsatisfying and it's not what you want from people. And so
Yeah.
then to try and find a way to unfold naturally and still kind of allow the expression of that without having it take
Yeah.
over in this other
And
way.
honor that because that's somehow how I really express myself.
Uh, yeah, yeah.
So,
So,
yeah.
thank you.
Mhm.
Amy, anything for you with this sort of hidden part?
I mean, a little, I guess some of what I'm thinking about is like the confidence piece. So sometimes I try to, you know, show that I'm more confident than I really am. And it's like that whole fake it till you make it, or
Mhm.
even with being a new massage therapist, I used to be like, expressing like, oh yeah, I just became a massage therapist. And now I'm like, okay, I don't necessarily want people to know that I'm brand new to it because I'm just needing to, you know, show my confidence and, um, just trying to, you know, I guess um, there's lots of misconceptions, even just through sometimes social media and things where, you know, a lot of people just think like, oh my gosh, your business is flourishing, you know, and I try to, I'm trying to grow it. So it's part of that confidence piece too, I think.
Yeah, I love that. I'm sorry. Did I not tell? I feel like I didn't tell. I didn't record this. I know that we've got note taking
Oh,
happening.
I thought it is recording. It says that.
Yeah, but all right, maybe I just started it again. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So we might only have, not that you guys need it necessarily, but oopsie, I forgot. So Jamie, I love that too, because that reminds me a little bit of what Carrie's saying is like there is some part of this where it's very intentional and it's about not hiding yourself at sort of the cost of losing yourself, but kind of not sharing every layer of what's going on with you as you're connecting to your own journey with that. So there's something about you're on a journey, you're aware this is an area that needs something, and there's a bit of a dance that happens of like, I'm not going to show every single card here. Um, but there's some truth about me too that maybe I can also embrace at the same time. And how do you find a little bit of both?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. Well, you said like I'm gonna have to look at the notes. Honor yourself without abandoning yourself. Is that kind of what you said? Something
That
like
I
that.
said or that Jamie
Yes,
said?
you did,
Oh,
Tanya.
oh.
I'll
I
have
don't
to
know if
look.
I said, in general, I've probably said those lines.
It was
I
really
don't know
good.
if I said it exactly like that then, but yeah, honoring yourself without abandoning yourself. I love that.
It's really good. Yeah, I love that too.
Yeah. So, and Barbara, what about you? Anything with the sort of hiding? I,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I sometimes when I had to like make speeches or show up at meetings, I felt like I was a phony, masquerading, that I really shouldn't be there. I was
Mm-hmm.
taking somebody smarter, pretty, whatever place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so, and that, I think till I retired 2 years ago, probably stuck, like it's hard to get rid of.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. And I think some of that is we don't get rid of it, right? Like
I
I
never
was
did.
speaking to the imposter syndrome. You were so successful through your whole career and still struggle with imposter syndrome. To me, speaks to the human quality of a lot of this stuff. Like as humans, we struggle with some of this stuff,
Yeah.
most of us. And then how do you not let that voice be your guiding voice and know
Yes,
that
yes,
it's not your truth, even if you have that sort of reaction?
yes.
Yeah.
Because and I asked several of my friends, and one was like chairman of Northern Trust and all over the world. And she said, "Oh, I feel like such a phony."
Mm.
So I think I don't. Again, I don't know whether males have that. I just don't know whether it's a gender.
I think I'm sure males have it, but not
Yeah,
as many. I think
I
there
Yeah,
are
think so
plenty of
too.
males in your position in work where, have done very well and they don't question themselves at all. So,
yeah. I deserve to be here. The syndrome,
mhm.
which I don't know any female who I deserve.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Relates to that too. I deal with imposter syndrome quite a bit. Every day, I think all my clients are gonna fire me.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
yeah,
two
yeah.
of them are here right
Because
now.
you're
But they're
not,
here right now, and every day I think I'm gonna get
Molly,
fired for
because
no
you're not good
reason.
enough. You're thinking you're not good enough, or you're not.
Yeah, that I'm not good enough. I just
Yeah.
like it's so ingrained in me that like I don't know what I'm doing. Like I do know what I'm doing, but I just still have this limiting
A
belief that I
fear.
have no
Yeah.
idea what I'm doing. Yeah.
It's gonna come out. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So, and Lori, I know that you have to leave in a bit, so I'm wondering if you could just leave us with your own kind of maybe takeaway from some of the messages from the movie and what we've talked about today, is there anything for you, Lori, that's standing out as like, yeah, I'm gonna focus on this, or this idea helps shift things for me?
Yeah, well, I liked, of course, I loved because she had the pig nose. I loved her with her pig nose. I liked the fact when she finally said, "I'm okay with myself." That that was, and that's when everything became. But I think too that, and this is just what I'm thinking, and I'm silly and crazy, but I was a personnel director for a long time, and I would do these interviews with these people and type up when they would get fired, and I would just be this tough. But then when it was all said and done, on my way home, boy, did I do that right? Did I not do that right? And I always, I'm like second guessing myself. And I think I'm glad she wasn't second guessing herself.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Her own self.
Yeah.
She accepted herself, and
Yeah.
because like, okay, well, everybody's like, oh, you're a great administrative assistant, we don't worry, blah blah. And then I'm driving home going, I don't think I did that right.
Yeah. And so your takeaway then would be to really work on not second guessing yourself, trusting that you made a decision and that felt right, and not having to revisit it again and again.
Yeah. And then when she said, I can fix myself, or the whole, I'm not sure exactly what she said, but that it was, she was okay all the time with herself, kind of like,
yeah,
kind of like what you were trying to do with your divorce, Lori, right? No matter what anybody says, I'm okay.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
It all ties in together. That's right. That must be, but like, I don't know, like the first divorce was, I was like, we need counseling about 12 years. But anyway, I'm okay with it. If you have a problem with it, then you can go. It's you, not
Yeah.
Yep.
That was not a good thing for me either, because for a long time it was all my fault. I didn't do it.
Well, it's interesting.
Are you sure?
No, now I know I was girl. I was the thing. He was. I'm saying.
Right. So you got to a place where you stopped second guessing yourself about that.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think I don't know, the what was written out when I was considering this question is early suitors and her parents wanted her to change to be acceptable, right? And then what shifted was when she just stopped even joining in with that, because for a while, even though she didn't like it, she was kind of following along with the plan. And then she's like, I'm not even going to follow along with the plan. I'm getting out of here. So, yeah, just this.
It was kind of in a way, empowering, like that. Just
yeah.
So that's right.
Yeah. And so, and do you have a sense, Lori, on how you're going to be able to follow that wish? So there's a real wish to stop second guessing yourself and to trust yourself and be confident in how you're showing up, I think is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, well, of course I'm retired now, but now I think I've gotten a lot better at it. But recently, I don't want to get into it, but a friend who came back into the picture for me, a very, very good friend. She's very needy, and I used to. This is how I know I'm changing, or I've grown, because I used to take all of her on myself, and it would. I'm saying no, and I'm backing away, and
She wouldn't respect boundaries, I think, is the needy part of her experience.
I'm proud of that. I'm proud.
Being able to set the boundary, and I'm thinking from what you shared with us, that's uncomfortable, because then maybe you're not being the nice person who's taking care of everybody else. And so to be able to set the boundary and nope, I'm good with this. I don't have to question myself.
Yeah.
Hey, that's awesome.
What I'm doing, what I'm working on. And but I don't know. I feel like I caused 9/11. That's how I feel. Something I did caused 9/11. Getting better about it now.
Yeah. Good. Nice. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you, Lori, for joining us.
Hey, I appreciate the invite, and I love y'all.
Hey, I know. I love having you.
Love you.
Nice to meet you.
It was nice to meet you.
Yeah. Bye, Lori.
All right, have fun. Bye.
So I'm just wondering if we should go to sort of takeaways ourselves. Where do you think the movie is suggesting? I mean, we've kind of covered this, so this might be a bit repetitive, but where do you think the movie is suggesting where true transformation comes from?
Within.
Self-acceptance.
Self-acceptance. Yes, Barbara. Yep.
Yeah.
Self-acceptance.
Yeah. Yeah. I keep thinking of the whole Dorothy, with the shoes. You had the power all along. That
Yeah.
idea of, yeah, you had the power all along and that it's in you. And this idea of inside versus outside. What do you think about the role of community in this? I mean, in this thing, um, she had a lot of toxic community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very alienated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
And I feel like, did her mom kind of like maybe exacerbate or like the
I think
issue?
yeah. Yes.
You
looking
know?
for a wealthy suitor, looking for the cure. I
Yeah,
think
like
her mom turned everybody, made them all aware that there was a problem, and it wasn't bad to say no. Right? I think
Right. That's right. And she taught Penelope that Penelope was a problem and that
right.
the only thing that was going to save her was this
a man.
external
A
thing.
man, yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like like what was I gonna say? Like Penelope seemed rather like, I wonder if Penelope would have had the self-acceptance faster had her mom kind of not told her again and again and again that her pig nose was like an issue. Like, and it
Yeah.
makes me, yeah,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
it just makes me think of like, Tanya, how you've helped us, some of us, realize like the things that we learned in adolescence that like we learned somehow, like just being in our like in like family bubble,
Mm-hmm.
that created this limiting belief. Like if that
Mm-hmm.
had not been her mom's experience and throwing that reality back to her, would that self-acceptance happen when she was like 6? Because like,
Right.
no, you're beautiful
Right.
with your big nose, and then the cure would have gone away.
Well, that's right, exactly. That's
Yeah.
interesting because it probably would have gone away, right? Because ultimately that's why when it went away was when she accepted herself. So had
Yeah.
she been able to accept herself earlier on. And you mentioned something about like, and I don't know if this is what you were getting at, but even her mom's story, like her mom also bought into this idea that the man's going to save her. And of course, this movie is from 2006, so it's also an old movie, but just the family messaging that her mom probably brought with her generations to where she was at. And yeah, I could imagine her mom, if her mom was a different person, showing up as like, oh, fuck them, like
You're
they
beautiful.
don't know what they're talking about. You're amazing. Just teaching her to accept her difference with just really celebrating her difference. So,
Yep.
yeah. Yeah. So let's go around maybe and we all can say a takeaway. Like what's something that you want to be intentional about at this moment in your life that's probably connected to the themes of the movie, like hiding yourself or believing that there's something wrong with you that you're realizing isn't actually wrong with you, or some way of showing up more fully as yourself.
Yeah, so for me, I think my main takeaway was really that I'm going to be with myself forever. I need to accept who I am because there are some parts of me that might shift a little, but they're never going to change. And I like those parts of myself. So I just need to embrace them.
Mm, yeah. I'm going to be with myself forever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a powerful statement. I've never
Yeah,
thought
it
about it
is.
that way.
Yeah.
I'll piggyback off of that because it's kind of similar to where I'm at. Like, I know you guys have heard me talk about like romance and like dating, but I realized through experimental dating, I'm like actually really, really happy single, living alone with my dog. And but I felt maybe some like kind of social stigma. I don't know, maybe someone would like judge me because like, oh, I don't have a partner. Like, oh, what's wrong with her? Like, but it's actually very intentional, this life I've created of peace and quiet. So
Mhm.
like I realize I like want to ride that wave without worrying what maybe someone else may, because quite frankly, like I don't really, I mean I care, but it's not gonna matter at the end of the day. Like what I'm living my life, they're not living my life. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and I was in my hometown this last weekend, and someone was like, "Carrie, are you married?" And like I literally got like immediate disgust. I was like, "Oh God, no." So I was like, "Oh wow, that was very telling." Like to me, like, "Oh, I'm actually think I'm like happy to be like, no, 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 I'm good on that. Like, no, not right now."
Hmm.
So
So like a further celebrating of the life you've built for yourself. You actually love the life you've built for yourself,
yeah,
not to make that less than in any way.
yes, and I think I've been really hyper focused on romance in my life for a long time now, and it's just like I think I'm like okay right now.
Yeah.
Just me, I don't know. So.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Nice. Jimmy, what about you?
I felt like so much of the movie, there was all that kind of like being in a fishbowl and being watched and
Yeah.
being like everything being observed, whether it's,
Hmm.
you know, her meeting new people or the
So
way
true.
she would react. And it was just so, and I think that just gave her such a break when she just left the house, that she wasn't being observed like that anymore. And it wasn't, you know, it was almost more her parents or her mother, you know, more than, and when she was out in the world, she did adapt, you know, a little bit to society where she was um, figuring out how to be more accepted out in the
Mhm.
wild, so to
Mhm.
speak.
Mhm.
Um, so anyway, I guess one thing one of my instructors in massage therapy school wrote on the board, and I always think of it, and I bring it up sometimes even, is he wrote SW, 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 and that's some will like you or will like your massage style or whatever it might be. Some won't, and so what? You know, like, so
Mhm.
it's just something I think of a lot. And um, so I think, and I had a client right before coming here today, and I was second guessing myself a little bit because I brought the massage gun, like the Theragun, and I hadn't used it that much other than a couple times when I worked at Massage MV. And he was just so receptive to it and saying, "Oh, that was a really good call to bring that today." Like really
Mhm.
appreciated it. And I was sitting there second guessing myself. So
Yeah.
anyway, you know, um, I gotta learn how to be more confident and just kind of figure that if it didn't work out, it would have been fine too. Like, what would have the
Mhm.
worst thing that happened? But
Maybe he would have like told you. I remember they reminded me of this serving experience I had when I was really young. I kept apologizing and I messed something up, like really like vaguely, or small. He's like, honestly, you apologizing is bringing more to I wouldn't have noticed. Like, stop, like you
Mm.
coming back to it, like
Yeah.
this is more like so. He's like, if I would have had an issue, I would have said something. Just quit
yeah,
worrying about it, please. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. People really will 8 times out of 10 speak up and say something if it's really
Yeah.
bothering them. But
Yeah.
this reminded me of that experience I had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love both of those. The SW, SW. I remember you brought that to group once, Jamie, and it
I like
was
that
like
too.
it resonated for all of us, this idea
mm,
of like, oh yeah, that's helpful. And then just what you're saying too, Carrie, about like we can get so caught in like, oh, that negative thing happened and it means this thing about me and I
Right.
better show up in this very perfect way, and if I don't, I better make up for it, or
Mhm.
and that really interferes with this flow, which can just be a much more sort of organic way to live through life without having to pause in this very, I don't know, complicated way. So,
Mhm.
yeah. And Barbara, what about you? What would a takeaway be for you?
Uh, I guess, lots of times you do think people are watching and aware, really going back to Carrie's point. and criticizing you, and really very few people are paying attention to you.
Mhm.
You know, it's like, get over yourself.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
We live in a very narcissistic society, and
We
everyone is
do.
constantly focused on themselves. And
Yeah,
We do.
you're right, Molly. That,
Yeah.
but if
Yeah.
I think somebody's noticing what an 80-year-old said or wore, I'm kidding myself, right? I mean, just so that it actually has been quite a wonderful birthday in many ways, because you just say, "Oh, well, I'm 80," and like the guy who's on the phone, you know, plug it in, plug it out, trying to find the password, and I'm like, God. And what I wore to a wedding. This is so funny. I borrowed a dress from my best friend, and I got a spray tan, and I felt prettier than I probably felt in 40 years. Somebody said to me, "Oh, you look beautiful." And I said, "I know."
Oh,
I,
yes.
I love that. I
Yeah.
really
I didn't really feel beautiful, you know, like not
I love that.
objectively, but I just knew that at this point I looked as good as I could ever look, you know, and it was just, I loved the dress I borrowed from my friend. She wouldn't sell it to me, but
Wow.
Oh,
I felt,
damn it.
I felt great.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, I
sweet.
love that.
Can
Yeah.
I share another experience
Yeah,
that kind of,
please.
yeah.
I remember when I had this realization, luckily, very early on in my life. I was in like 6th or 7th grade, and I was, we didn't have like a lot of money growing up. So I had like maybe 2 or 3 pairs of jeans that I would kind of like recycle through, right? And I was looking at all the other girls with their like their Hollister jeans. And I was like, it's like, oh man, I wish I had new Hollister jeans to wear like every day, like 5 pairs, one each day. Then I looked around the whole big study hall classroom and I was like, I don't know what one person was wearing yesterday in this room.
Mhm.
Why in the world would anyone be paying attention to what jeans I'm wearing to school?
Yeah.
Like, who, like, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
they're not paying attention.
Yeah.
They're not.
I
Wear
have-
the jeans again.
I have to go. My beautiful granddaughter.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Thanks for
Bye.
coming,
Thanks,
Barbara.
Barbara.
Good to see you.
I enjoy your input. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Nice to see you, Barbara.
Bye-bye. Nice to see everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
So,
I just have to figure out how to get out of Zoom.
at
Oh, let's see.
the bottom right, I think. Bottom
Oh,
right.
yes, it was. It was there, and I just pressed something. Leave.
Yeah.
Leave. Got it.
There we go.
Cute.
And I don't know if you guys have seen Lizzie McGuire. It was around when I was a kid. But
Uh-huh.
as said in Lizzie McGuire, the only thing worse than an outfit repeater, not the only thing. You want to know what's worse than an outfit repeater? An outfit rememberer.
Remember.
Oh.
Yes, literally.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I loved
I
that.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
I'm an outfit repeater through and through.
Oh
Me
gosh.
too.
Now I'm like, that's my uniform. Like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
staying.
Exactly. My cartoon character outfit.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So for me, like the takeaway maybe is through my work transition and to really trust that I'm leaving a model that kind of was defined not by me. And I'm going into trusting and kind of using my heart as a guide as things are continuing to evolve and just trusting that evolution and trusting that there's value in me connecting to my heart and being true. And of course, that's like the whole foundation of my work. But you know, it's that for a reason. It's not easy always to do that. So to stay true and connected and trust. So that would be my takeaway. Molly, I know we only have like 2 minutes, but can you just say quickly what the plan is for next time?
Yes. So next Stories and Screens, we are going to be doing a bunch of excerpts from different books. So we are going to be putting together a little document for you guys that have all of the excerpts on them, and then we're going to read them and discuss them.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. And it won't take long to read it, but it'll be very rich discussion.
Oh, yes.
I think Molly is really good at curating this kind of
I can
thing,
step
so she's
up.
taking the lead on that. And yeah, and if anybody has anything along the way that you think we should consider to add, feel free to like send any thoughts. That would
You
be
have my
awesome.
number.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
All right. Thanks, guys. Good to see you all. Appreciate you
Thank
all being
you.
here.
Pleasure as
We'll
always.
see you soon. Yes. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.